Right. Hello everyone. It's certainly been a while, hasn't it? Hasn't it? I can't even remember when my last stream was. It's been that long. Just wait a few more minutes. In a few minutes I'm gonna get the window capture off. Because I have a few things I want to talk about today. I'm not sure how long I'm gonna be live, but there's some important stuff that I want to talk about. Well, with me. Hang on, there's a few technical difficulties. It's quicker being quicker than usual. Excuse me. I am so sorry for that. I'm not going to that part. Oh well, whatever. I'm going. Just getting it up now. The main things I'll be talking about today are like a bunch of movie updates for my movie. Monkey Wolf, Lose Your Wolf. I'm gonna be like talking about like movie reviews as well, because I've recently watched both Toy Story 5 and Pinocchio on Strong. Because I said in my last Twitch stream that I talk that because I spoke a little bit about both films when the trailers came out. Because I definitely spoke about the Toy Story 5 trailer when it came out. Because I think that was my last stream. And that was all the way back in February, I think. So it's been quite a while. Why is it you can never find what you're looking for? Okay. Sorry. I'll just continue on from here, because I'm most recent. And anyway, so if you follow me on Twitter, you'll know that I've posted a lot of threads lately about with updates about my film, Monkey Wolf, Lose Your Wolf. I've posted quite a few, so I'm going to try and find as many as I can. And I'm basically going to go through them, and I'm going to talk about them in as much detail as I can without revealing too much information. Especially with the recent changes I've made, so I want to compare the stuff that I've changed. Because I want to document the whole thing, if you know what I mean. So let me just get this window capture up. Hopefully you can see that. Let me just. Right, that looks good. Alright. This first thread I'm gonna go through. This is from the 31st of May. So like almost 2 months ago. But yeah, since this thread, so my last update thread about my film was the one from January, where I think anyway. And I remember from my last Twitch stream that I did go through that thread a little bit. So this thread is a continuation from the one from January. Like a fair warning, a lot of this is still conceptual. Still nothing has been confirmed yet regarding anything at all. This goes for all of the update threads, if you know what I mean. I'm sorry, I have a habit of changing my mind a lot, and obviously with later threads that you'll see. So just fair warning for that. And there will be other stuff that I've posted that I've made threads about on Twitter that I will not be talking about on stream for other reasons. Go to our Twitter if you wanna see the reason. Anyway, the first major change that I've made to the film is where the film was being located. Back here in May and back in January as well, I spoke about potentially having the film set in two locations at once. The first 10 minutes being set in Liverpool, and the rest of the film being set in Brighton. But obviously, due due to certain circumstances which I will not be talking about on stream for privacy reasons, I have made the decision to change it back to the original concept of the whole film being set in Liverpool. And a few things that have stayed the same throughout all my updates is the use of practical effects and like fully built sets as well, because they're really important to the story. Well, they're really important. Obviously, I'll dive more into the animatronics later on when I get to one of the more recent updates. But some changes regarding them have been made as well. So like, obviously, as well as like some other design changes as well for general safety. Because there was some stuff I thought that could be done but can't. But I'll get more into that later on. So, here we go. This is like the Airbnb thing that I was talking about. The Airbnb thing plotline is still happening. To me, that's the only way that we can have all of the potential content creators being in one room, in one place at the same time. Story-wise, if you know what I mean, and reality-wise as well. But the only major difference, this is an earlier draft of the bedroom designs. The major change to this is the exclusion of me, which I'll get into like later on. But everything else, like the white pinky balls, black polka dots, the beds and everything, that is still the same. So I'll give you a minute to read that. Or if you want to just go to my Twitter and like read the full thread for yourselves with all the images and everything like that, feel free to do that. That is the major, one of the first major changes for the film. And here, like I said earlier on, the Airbnb will be a fully built set. This is because we will be using practical effects such as animatronics and puppetry. The movie will feature quite a few of these animatronics and puppets. Special effects makeup will also be used. That is still staying the same. Obviously with a few minor changes, story-wise and stuff like that. Well, not really story-wise, but maybe like production-wise regarding some scenes. The next major thing that I do want to talk about is as well as like for the updates I've been given, I have been kind of like revealing like the werewolf lore of the for the movie, if you know what I mean. So here's that. This is one of the first like like parts of the werewolf lore that I ever posted. And this is like, because I'm a very creative person, every now and then I'll just like get an idea for like something for the film or part of the franchise, if you know what I mean. Because I do have plans for other parts, like after the film. So if the film does well, I want to do, obviously, well, like, so I'm just trying to get my thoughts together. But for a long time, well, I wouldn't say a long time viewers, but for like a long time, for quite a few years now, I was working on a sequel series as well that ties directly into the movie. And I'm still actively, like, I say actively, but that idea is still a thing. I do want that to happen, but obviously the film is the main concern at the minute. Because this film sets up for the series, if you know what I mean. In the series, like in the sequel series, a lot of the werewolf lore is explained properly and like experienced properly, if you know what I mean. Like with all this, the only part that's like fully like explained or partly explained in the film is this first part for the full moon. Okay. Anyway, I'm kind of just like rambling a little bit, trying to get my thoughts together. Anyway, so this is basically like different like parts of the lunar cycle, like mainly moons and how they affect the werewolves, which are potentially, I still have to clarify this, potentially Tommy in it, Tubbo and Jassian. I still have to say that it's still all potential and conceptual, because no one has been confirmed yet. I've not managed to reach out to anyone yet. And the only reason I'm really I'm like posting this stuff on Twitter with like updates and like world building and stuff like that. It's like getting to like try and naturally build an audience. That way when I do eventually pitch the film to them, if I ever get to. I'm still working on that bit. It's like, you know, I don't know how to explain it. It's not like a completely unknown project, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm trying to build an audience of people who will want to see the film. That way when it does get pitched, it's not like just me wanting the film to be made, if you know what I mean. Because it's still like, because this film is still in very early development. Still don't have a script done or nothing. But I mean, I have been like working on it a little bit whenever I can. Anyway, but yeah, this is that first bit. And I have kind of like took inspiration from like other werewolf stuff, like the new moon thing. I was heavily inspired by Wolfblood. If you don't know what that is, it's a TV show for like, it's like, it was this TV show on CBBC. And it was a really good one. And I only found it recently, within the last couple of years. Because I was too young when it was airing, if you know what I mean. I wasn't watching. I wasn't really interested in it back then when it was first airing. Because it was aired over like a decade ago. So, but the new moon thing here, fully human and drained of their energy until the next day, that was like heavily inspired by Wolfblood. I'm not sure if anyone's done like blue moons or super moons in werewolf projects, so I don't want like be the original creator for that, if you know what I mean. Because I think involving other like parts, like real like form, like real moons into like fictional stuff like that, into like werewolf stuff, is really interesting. Like blue moons and super moons, because they're real things that happen. But this next bit, and like lunar eclipses and blood moons, don't know, blood, that stuff is kind of a bit interesting to me, you know what I mean? But yeah, with lunar eclipses, like stuck in their particle form, which I'll discuss in a bit. I'll go on whole like talk about like the two different like wolf forms that they have in a minute when I'm done with this. Stuck in their particle form until the next morning, and then blood moons stuck in their full wolf form and act like wild beasts until the next morning. A very dangerous full moon. But that's kind of like, again, I'm not sure anyone else has done that, but it's something that I was just like thinking about for a while, because I'm a very creative person, and I have a very creative imagination. I've always had. But going back to this bit with full moons, once transformed, they can swap between their particle form and their full wolf form at will. It's so painful. Same with blue moon and super moons. And I kind of want like, I'm gonna get this like different wolf forms things up now because I really want to talk about it. Because to me, like, just them having like the werewolf having just one wolf form, it gets boring, if you know what I mean. It's predictable. Sorry, I'm just trying to find this. No. Typical, can't find it. But anyway, yeah. So the werewolves, they have two wolf forms. They have their part wolf form, which is just like the pointed ears, a wolf nose, a tail, claws, and like open wolf eyes, like and like the fur, and just like, but it all the fur matches the skin color, if you know what I mean. And then The full wolf form is where the animatronics comes into play. It's just like basically full wolves. It's kind of in the name. Like they just become like full adult wolves. They can't talk, but they can understand humans, if you know what I mean. Obviously, when they're shifting between forms, they don't lose control, if you know what I mean. Like especially when they're in the partial forms, they don't lose their mind at all, or they don't lose. They're still themselves mentally. They're able to talk and everything like that, and they're in control mainly. Um, here's another, here's another one. I'm just trying to get my words together. Give me a minute. Right, anyway. Something else that I was thinking of was obviously the the werewolf senses. Because even like, you know, they've got, you know, your five senses: touch, taste, smell, sight, and hearing. So obviously, werewolf senses are more stronger, or stronger than humans. So they experience high emotions, but they can all, something that's unique for film, for this one, hopefully. They can also sense high emotions in other people, especially people in their pack. They can sense both strong physical and emotional pain too. This is a key part of how they interact with Elise, how she deals with her MEIS2 condition that causes her agonizing muscle pain in her legs and feet, and her grieving her mum Ali's death. Obviously, I am mixing a lot of my personal life into the film. It's another part of the major story. There's like there's like three full-on storylines happening at once in the film. I'm not going to reveal what the third one is because that will reveal too much, if you know what I mean. But there's essentially like change. The story is about change, and it's about like the physical change being obviously the werewolf stuff, how Tommy, Terrell, and Jazzy Ann learn to control their wolf instincts and all, their wolf instincts and all that stuff. but there's the emotional aspect of change, which is what I go through throughout the film. It's me learning to open up again after everything I've been through, obviously with my mum's death, which will be openly discussed in the film, and her cause of death as well. So it's a very heavy subject being spoken about. But it deals with the emotional aspects of like dealing with grief and physical pain that I go through every day. And I will be talking a lot about my childhood as well in the film. Because when I do eventually open up again, and I start to trust people. Because it's the stuff that I have to deal with in real life every day. I don't have any friends really. I have I like I still I'm friends with a few people from school, but I barely talk to them, if you know what I mean. And I don't really see them ever. I've not seen them since I finished year 11, if you know what I mean. But I have spoken to them, I've texted them every now and then. So I don't really have any friends. I did have one best mate for 7 years, and earlier on this year, that friendship unexpectedly ended. I'm not gonna reveal any names or go into detail about what happened, because it's kind of a messy situation. And I've had these severe trust issues throughout my life for about 10 years now, I wanna say. Because kids just didn't understand. People just don't understand. They don't understand what I have to go through every day. And even now, and even more so now, with my mum being dead. Because my mum was my rock. She was one of the only people in the world that truly understood me. So incorporating that into the film is really important for me, if you know what I mean. And it brings me to this big thread that I posted a few weeks ago. The one that's pinned to my profile. This one. Anyway. I'm not going to reveal too much more now about the film. Which obviously it's still in like heavy development, if you know what I mean. So it's like I'm still figuring things out because I do want to make a full on like a big video going in depth with all of the updates, if you know what I mean. But obviously I've got quite a bit going on at the minute, so it won't be for a while. It looks like it's on my mind. Because I've not done a good like movie updates video on YouTube for a while. But moving on from my movie, I have been watching some films lately. Some new ones, two big new ones. It's what I mentioned earlier on. I watched Toy Story 5 the day after it came out, and I've got to admit, it is really good. My favourite character's got to be Blaze. I just think she's like one of the sweetest characters in the whole film, if you know what I mean. But I've got to admit, Toy Story 5 is definitely way better than Toy Story 4. Yes, both films are both. I do think that both 4 and 5 are unnecessary. But Toy Story 5 is better than Toy Story 4. And so that's my second best film. In my opinion, Toy Story 5 is the second best film of 2026 so far. And for me, the best film of 2026 so far has got to be Pinocchio and Song. For those of you who do not know, I absolutely fucking love Pinocchio. I'm obsessed with the Disney version. I love it. I love it to bits. And I love horror films as well. I love Chucky and stuff like that. And like, I was really, really excited for Pinocchio and Son for ages. And I started getting really excited for the film after the trailer came out. And after I started seeing clips of it on Instagram. And I'm not gonna spoil it. If you've not watched, go and watch it. But it's really, really good. Because I've always believed that Pinocchio, like, obviously the original book that Pinocchio is from, The Adventures of Pinocchio, it is a very, very dark book. And it's perfect horror movie material. I've always said this. Pinocchio is, like, the original book is horror movie material. and people are finally listening. I just want to say, the practical effects that they used were fucking incredible. Pinocchio works best with practical effects. Because there's a bunch of there's quite a few live action Pinocchio films where they've used CGI for them. I'm like, no, Pinocchio's a puppet. Use practical effects. It's cheaper. It's been practical effects are cheaper than it's cheaper to use practical effects than it is to use CGI. It really is. And he works and looks so much better as a physical puppet. He works and looks so much better. Like even that crappy Pinocchio horror film from the 90s, like Elise&Friends, they use practical effects. They use practical effects and even he looked good in that. Even though the movie was shite. I think that's what turned a load of people away originally when Pinocchio and Song was announced. It's the first Pinocchio horror film since Pinocchio's Revenge, and that one, Pinocchio's Revenge, is just like that. The ending is so confused. The ending is so confusing to that film. It's unbelievable. I think that's what turned a lot of people away. But Pinocchio and Song is definitely worth it. It was worth it. I would watch it again. I will watch it again. I've been debating the last few days of whether I want to watch in cinemas. Because I watched it on my Fire Stick the other night. Because it really annoyed me. Because for ages, no cinemas in the UK really had anything up for it. Literally no one. None of them. Not even the local cinema. My local cinema. I've checked with loads of cinemas in Liverpool, and none of them was planning on showing it for ages and ages and ages. Even after the trailer came out, when the trailer released, I was looking on the internet to see if any cinemas in Liverpool were going to show the film, and they had nothing on it. They had nothing on it. And we watched it until Sunday night. Well, Saturday night, Sunday morning, I should say. Saturday night, I was just lying in bed and I was scrolling through Twitter, I think. Was it Twitter? Instagram? I think I was scrolling through Twitter on my phone in bed Saturday night, and I was and this video came up, or a link to a video of the movie of Pinocchio and Chung showed up on my timeline, and I remembered that the film would come out, and I immediately went over to my Fire Stick and I got it up and I got it working. It took a long while now to get working though, because I could only find one link. And it was the crappy. It was the quality was it was recorded in the cinema, so it was like really crappy. And there was all these pop-ups that kept coming up and everything. I was really lonely. But I watched it, and honest to God, it was worth it. And I am genuinely still considering if I want to like book a ticket. Because after I watched it, I started looking. I started I started wondering to see if any cinemas were going to show it. And I looked up at that, and the first one that I found was showing it. I thought, okay, typical. And it's like weird, because with it being like an 18 plus film, they're only showing it like, there's only one showing every night at like 10. Like 10 on the dot every night. And there's only one showing for some reason. I mean, I don't go to the cinema that often, so I'm not sure if that's normal or not. But I'm really happy with it. Like, I've got to admit, I am really happy with it. I really do love it. I think it's one of the best films of 2026 so far. Hmm. Sorry. I've been live for over an hour. Do you really know what else to talk about? I think I might end soon. Living life over an hour. And it's just been like, life has just been like weird lately. My cat's Lily will have been bloody menaces as usual. So I could hear anything in the background. Got my window open. So it's only just cooling down in my room after the bloody heat waves we've had. We've had two heat waves back to back. I'm expecting to have another one next week. I mean, I've not really been doing that much art lately. I've not been doing that much animation lately either. I did do some concept art for the film of Tommy Jerome Jagian as werewolves for the film pitch. I've got them inks, I just need to paint them. I wanted to do them as watercolor paintings, but I couldn't, so I did them as cells instead. So they've been inks and they're ready to be painted. Just trying to like find the energy to like actually paint them. Besides, I want more cells that need to be inks. I got me loads more. I've still got loads of me pink ones ink. I'm nowhere near done with that. Anyway, this has been fun. I want to try and get like a nice new camera and have it set up so I can do like some proper animation scenes. So I can like, you know, I want to do like some streams where you just like a top down view of me and pink stuff. Or any of like me actual like art stuff I want to do. But I just want to get like a nice camera for it. And I know nothing about cameras. And also like really expensive as well. But anyway, that's all for me today. Hope you enjoyed. The vlog will be uploaded probably tomorrow. Because it's getting late. Anyways, see you later. Bye.